it goes in cycles, especially with these particular genres of. Hello darlings, this is Victoria Fashen and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome to my channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe on my channel if you like what you see. I've been in the subculture for about 2006 and I have definitely noticed the different trends that do occur within the subculture, especially with a variety of genres. So for example, we constantly see online which goth bands are in the subculture, which aren't. But you normally get your staple artists, Sisters of Mercy, Susie and the Banshees, great and all. However, the beauty about the subculture is that there is a variety of subgenres of music. I am going to include industrial, and the reason why I am including industrial because industrial is the cousin of the gothic subculture. And as you progress in getting older, your music choices change. But I also have noticed that there are subgenres of goth that do have a trend going on. So for example, this is all subjective, what I'm about to discuss, but this is a perspective from somebody who grew up in Los Angeles, California, and noticed the trends that have occurred from 2006 to the present moment. I noticed when getting involved in the subculture that dark cabaret, EBM was very popular. I know EBM, agrotech, they're not goth music, but I wouldn't even say goth adjacent, but because industrial is the cousin of goth, it's still intertwined with the subculture. So dark cabaret was really popular. Neoclassical was popular in Europe. Synth pop, EBM being really popular. Now you rarely see people like with cyberlocks and trad goth, and it was actually really hard to find clubs that would particularly play old school goth music. However, death rock was very popular from the early 2000s, from like 2000 to 2011. And that's how it was a constant event all the time. There was death rock bands like left and right, at least in California. Right in the tail end of death rock, when it wasn't as popular anymore, when the mid-2000s occur, there was a particular moment that goth wasn't very, I don't want to say popular, but there weren't that many new bands. A lot of clubs started closing down because of venues, not necessarily new music being produced. I remember genres like witch house being really popular in the mid-2000s. Somewhat of synth pop as well. Then 2016 arrived, and then death rock. There was a resurgence of death rock. It went from death rock to dark wave. And right now, dark wave is really popular. The subculture, it goes in cycles. Especially with these particular genres that are part of the goth subculture and are also goth adjacent. It all depends regionally where most genres are more popular, because you have like neoclassical, for example, on the rise in the early 2000s as well, particularly in Germany and like Italy and like more like in Europe. You are into neoclassical. Not that many people were into neoclassical back in California. Death rock was very, very in demand in Mexico City. But overall, like, goth has a trend, and it's not only with fashion, it's also with music. So I am curious to know which genre of music would you like to see have a resurgence? There's plenty of genres out there that they're not necessarily discussed in the goth subculture. So because I'm also discussing about the different trends and the cycles of goth music, I have also noticed that even yourself, you can, like, your music taste changes. And what I mean by that, maybe when you started, you were very much into Susie and the Banshees. You were a big fan, and you loved most of her albums or all her albums, and like as you start expanding your knowledge of music, and let's say there's a band that you didn't like. So for example, as you start getting older, you start realizing that even your music taste changes. So what I mean by that is that maybe when you were starting off as a baby bat, you didn't have an appreciation of certain artists within this goth subculture. However, in your 20s or 30s, that can change. I wasn't into Nick Cave. I wasn't into The Birthday Party when I started off. I truly believe that you will always have your go-to bands, and you will love them and cherish them, and there are some bands that you will never get tired of. Never. So for example, mine are Cocktail Twins. Dead Can Dance.
Remember when you held my hand in the park we would play when the circus came to town. Oh.
Black Tape for a Blue Girl.
Ashes, ashes, our souls drift like ashes in the brittle air. Through the
Oh, and This Mortal Coil. But there are some other bands now, like, believe it or not, like if I listen to, I can't listen to Susie so much anymore like I used to, because I kind of burned her out. There was a point where I was constantly listening to Susie and the Banshee. Tinderbox is one of my favorite, and still is, albums of all time, but I can't really listen to her as much as I used to. Like, I have to be in the mood to listen to her. And when I was a lot younger, I did not give two fucks about Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds or The Birthday Party. I only liked one song from Nick Cave. Now, oh my god, I adore that man. I love him. I love his music. I appreciate it so much. His music elements consist of folk, blues, and even some jazz. So now not only do I appreciate it, but I value his music and you're gonna see that often as well, that sometimes it's not about going on following trends or following cycles within the subculture, but it's also just starting to see what you like. And when you start exploring which music genres that you do value and cherish a lot more, you'll start seeing that you will explore that you will like more these particular genres in the subculture than you did when you've just started out. And I think that's the beauty about the goth subculture, is that the older you get, it's that subculture. It's a very particular, I don't know why is it just with goth though. Goth is very unique in this particular way. Yeah, you'll get your stereotypes of, oh, I like bats. Oh, I like, the staple artists. Oh, I like Halloween. You're a gatekeeper. All of these stereotypes. What I do appreciate about the subculture is that the longer you're in it, the more your music taste, your fashion, and even you refine as a person. And I think that's what's the beauty about the subculture. And if you have noticed, some people who get into the subculture later on in their life, they used to be a punk, they used to be a rockabilly. I don't know why is it those particular subgenres, but they always end up like people who used to be in those genres go to goth. How has goth refined you as a person? What are some trends that you have noticed, not only with fashion and makeup, but also with music? What have you seen, the trends that have been going on, even in your local community? What do they usually play more? You will see that like we're all connected and we're all like, we all influence one another. And I think that's so amazing about the subculture. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe on my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.